The idea of TeamSupreme came shortly after Dane and I, one night when we were up, a little bit intoxicated. Dane and I were working on a project together, and then we challenged each other to take the same sample and remix it in 30 minutes at the same exact tempo. And we put the two tracks together and we thought, wow, this sounded pretty cool. We ended up inviting, I think, like 12 or 13 of our close friends at that time to take part in this little exercise. We're like, send us your beats. By the end of the week, we'll put it in a mixtape format. The same night, we thought about the idea of doing it every week. Dane and a lot of us from TeamSupreme actually went to Chapman University in Orange County. We took a class from a teacher named Steve Nalepa, who's also a music producer in TeamSupreme.
I teach music technology classes at Chapman University, so I get to work with these incredibly talented musicians. And my role there is to introduce them to all the incredible tools that we have available to us as artists today.
The homework assignments for his class was to make a track every single week. We noticed how great that was just for our practice and for our own production chops. In order to kind of continue that practice, we thought about doing it through this TeamSupreme cypher sort of format.
I feel like the more I'm participating in the ciphers, the more I'm making these beats in 1 week and putting them out as fast as possible, the more I'm actually writing outside of that as well.
Collectives in the blooming electronic music scene are a way to bypass the compartmentalization and elitism of the established record industry. You have the power to achieve a large scale of sharing music, growing community beyond even your actual collective.
Yo, raise your hand if you got a beat and you still want to play it. Oh, damn!
The tectonic plates get moved out and there's no more Pangea, no more one giant continent.
Yo, shout out Kelly for bringing her computer too, you guys. Let's give it up.
We're all in it together and we're all pushing each other to do better.
If I don't put anything out or I'm not really working on anything, I can always be cheering on my TeamSupreme homies and kind of be watching them. And if they do well, TeamSupreme does well. And if TeamSupreme does well, I do well. So it's like everyone's kind of benefiting off of each other.
I think a lot of producers sometimes get a little bit guarded with their music, don't want to share their tips or secrets and all that. And you know, good luck with that. That's all I gotta say. In the crew, we're consistently sort of sharing our tracks and getting everybody's feedback. It's vital.
If you're reliant on your secrets or your samples to like give you any sort of credibility or whatever as a producer, and not your skill set, then I feel bad for you.
Everything that I have learned from production has been from time in the same room with other producers and seeing firsthand, oh wow, that's where your threshold is at. Oh, that's the frequency you're boosting, or that's the type of waveform you're using.
Or in my case, I'll like work with you on something and then I'll just, you know, save your drum racks to my user library.
Right, that works too. That's a good way to
just steal your samples.
As much as you can be uncomfortable letting go of your artistic property, the reality is it's just as much of a promotional tool that always leads back to you, the creator and originator, the artist. As much as releasing a song on SoundCloud, they're going to be looking at your name constantly in their project files. They're going to pass those samples around to their friends. And if you ever do have doubts, then you could give all your sounds and samples, as we're doing in these Splice packs, give them to that other producer and see what they can do with them. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, you still can't do it like me. Yeah. All right.
Yes, we got deep with it.
We've got some special things for the Splice pack.
For my pack, I wanted to do mostly acoustic, real-world instrument sounds.
We mic'd up stuff. We did high-quality stereo recordings of Mike's upright bass.
We have some percussion loops. We did some stereo conga recordings, some stereo rain stick recordings.
Percussion instruments that my grandma collected in her travels to Africa that she was gracious enough to give to me. For the first time ever, I took this as an opportunity to record all of them.
I'm not gonna hold any secrets. Like, I made these drums the way I would make them in my song. And people ask me like, how do you make these drums or whatever? It's like, dude, like, here you go. I made them already, you can use them. I made these for the pack. And this is the way I would have done it if I was making a song. I just didn't make a song, I just made a sample pack.
I think any producer can vouch for that fact where if you start with a poor sounding sample, then you can like add all of the processing you want, it's still gonna be a poor quality sound. So starting with high quality sounds is important, and that's kind of what Splice is providing people on a larger scale.
I like using a lot of people's sample packs and kind of repping them. You're repping it almost like a trading card. I would love for people to say that about, oh, I used the Great Dane 808. I think that'd be a cool feeling to have people out there making music with sounds that I made.
George Clinton of Parliament Funk was quoted as saying, the funk has been passed down through samples. And that's kind of the legacy that we're continuing, I think, through Splice. It's the future, I think, of sampling.